Well, hey everybody, this is Jim coming back at you again, and this is an update on the truck. Now, we had a little bit of a technical glitch, and I had filmed some stuff, and unfortunately it got deleted, and I'm not quite sure what happened there, so I do apologize. But, so some of this is going to look a little fast-forwarded from what you've seen. For example, the truck bed is on the truck. Now, if you look right there, you can see a strap in the middle. Now, I'm going for sort of a rat rod vibe with this, and so I'm totally cool with that being there. Here's what happened. I decided on what tires I wanted, what tires and wheel combination. I love the setup, and it looks fantastic, but the bed was a little too narrow in order to make the tires work. They were rubbing on the outside of the fender well. Now, there's two ways that you can handle that I'm aware of. One would be you could put some sort of a spacer on the back side of the fender up against the bed, but I think that's going to look like crap. I've seen guys do it, and it just never looks right. It always looks obvious that you put something in there. I don't care for it. Another thing that they'll do, especially if you're doing a high dollar build, is what they'll do is they'll cut a piece, they'll just cut a line here, and they'll weld in a piece, maybe say a 2-inch stock, something like that, to widen the fenders. Now that works, but that's a lot of work, and I really didn't want to go through all that. And so arguably, my idea isn't any simpler, but what I did is I cut the bed in half. At the front there, I cut the bed right down the middle, and I put in that spacer that you see. And it kind of gives me, again, that rat rod vibe that I'm looking for. You can see the metal strap going up the middle there. And I think it turned out great. I'm really, really happy with it personally. The strap actually goes across the front of the bed, and then I wrapped it around the top rail and bolted it on the inside, bending it all with the torch. It worked out great. So now the bed effectively is 3 inches wider than what it was. I only needed to widen it by 1.5 inches on each side. So what I then had to do was make these little spacer blocks that extended the bed sides out just that extra 1.5 inches. And so it's a piece of angle iron that goes around the front of each bar and moves the bed frame out, the bed sides out, that extra 1.5 inches. Then at the back end, I welded in a piece of 1.5 inch square tubing. You can see I welded the top on it, and just bolted everything to that. And so I've got my latches here, and so there is the back end of the truck. Now the bumper is just on for grins at this point. It's not in its final position. You can see it's not even tight, but just sort of hanging there. And so what I'm actually about to do is I'm about to put the fender back on this thing, and I have to make sure I include the spare tire carrier. Now again, a lot of guys take those off. They don't like the look of them. I don't really want to replace the fender. It's original to the truck. I think it's kind of cool to have that, and I want to have a spare that matches my wheels, and I think that's going to look sweet to have that sitting there on the side. So again, that's one of the great things about hot rodding. Everybody does their own thing, And so I've got my material sitting here. This is going to be my bed when I get that done. This is a bunch of stainless that I got a hold of secondhand. And you can see I've got the fender on this side, and it looks really good. It clears the wheel without any problem whatsoever. And I can now drive the truck securely, safely, knowing that everything is in good shape. And so I'm going to go ahead and get the fender put on the driver's side.